So I've spent the last 10 years as a photographer. I recently realized that it has now been 10 years since I started going full time with photography in 2015. And I think back on that and it doesn't seem like that long of a time. But the things that I've done and the experiences that I've had in that 10 years is definitely a absolute memory maker. And I want to talk to you about the things that I've learned over the last decade as a photographer. Now, with that being said, I've only been full time with it since 2019, so about 6 years. But from that, though, I was doing a side hustle thing for a very, very long time. 4 years, maybe even longer. But I would consider it 10 years. I got my first DSLR camera when my wife and I got married in 2010. It was a present from my grandma to kind of document our honeymoon and things like that. So it has been with me for a very long time, for 15 years now. That's terrifying to think about. But I've been doing this as a business for 10 years, and I want to kind of talk about the things that I've experienced and the things that I feel if you're just starting out or just thinking about going full time, this is something that really could help you, could benefit you to learn. Now, please, if this is your first time seeing me, I'm a full-time photographer. I teach photography, lighting, posing, all sorts of stuff, editing. But I would really like to help you grow not only as a photographer, but as a person too. So if you could please do me the huge favor of hitting the subscribe button. I know that subscribers don't mean as much as they used to, but it really does make me feel better when I see that number growing and I can go back and say, these are the people that I've helped. These are the people that really want to learn from me. So if you could find it in your heart, please just hit the subscribe button. But the first thing that I want to talk about is not charging your worth. For the many, many, many years, I was way undercutting myself as far as my pricing compared to the work that I was putting in. And the reason that I feel like that I was doing that was I was trying to compete with the other photographers in my area instead of setting myself apart and showing why I'm a premium. I was undercutting myself to meet the demands and the competition of the ones around me until I realized that there are a lot of photographers. There are tons of photographers in my area. And instead of lowering myself to those levels of pricing, I need to set myself apart. And I need to show that why I'm different and why I'm worth just a little bit more than the others in the area. And that's what I did is I started focusing on becoming a better photographer, becoming something different in the area where everybody is shooting the family portrait style stuff. I'm shooting the epic headshots and portraits and bright colors and throwing in effects and stuff like that. That's where I feel like that my time is better used and utilized instead of lowering my pricing to meet expectations. I'm putting a lot of work in. I'm putting a lot of editing time. I'm pre-planning. I'm doing all this to learn so I can make my photos better. And this is something that's important. And this is why that I don't think you should undercharge what you're worth. If you're worth it, charge it. Make sure that people know that there's a reason you're a little bit higher or that your pricing is what it is. Show it in your work, show it in your communication, show it in your personality, your brand image, all of these things. These are important. So focus on that stuff. So the next thing that I feel like that a lot of people do, and I did it myself, is ignoring marketing. And what I mean by that is not getting yourself out there, not showing your brand image, and just hoping that people come your way. And I know that we all want to just focus on being a great photographer, and that is amazing. If this is your hobby, if this is something you just want to do for fun, if this is something that you don't want to spend a lot of time in the business side of things, that's okay. Go ahead and do it. But the thing is if you want to be this photography business, you have to devote yourself to building a brand, to being an image, to making sure that the stuff that you're putting out, as far as not your photography in general, but the things built around it, it's important. You have to be able to market. You have to be able to spend some money on some paid advertising. I know none of us want to do it, but in today's day and age, We have to. We have to be able to boost ads. We have to be able to boost TikTok posts. We have to be able to pay for marketing in Google SEO and search engines and things like that. It's just, it has to be done. And I know that it sucks, but I promise the more that you spend, the more that you'll make back. And I know that sounds terrifying to be like, well, I only have $500 left in my business. If I spend 300 of it, I'm going to go broke. But if you spend that 300 and book $2,000 worth of clients, isn't it worth it? So I'm not telling you to go out and just spend a ton of money and just go broke doing marketing, but figure out a way to diversify some of your money to spend it over on that. And that leads me to the next thing, and that is your brand image. And this is probably the most important, and it's kind of the reason that I wanted to make this video. Over the last 10 years, I've been pretty good with it because prior to my photography, I was also a musician. So I keep myself pretty drawn back when it comes to posting personal things, whether it's my family, whether it's drama I'm going through, whether it's down, being broke or poor or low on funds or however you want to say it. There's a moment when you decide to be a business that you have to think about what you're posting every time you post something. You can't post your drama. Even on your personal Facebook page or personal Instagram or whatever, you have to think about that at any moment, somebody important could see what you're posting. So if you're posting that you're out of money and you're broke and you're starting to GoFundMe for yourself or to pay rent or that you're doing these things, like that also reflects on your brand image. That reflects like, okay, if they can't manage their money well enough to take care of themselves as a personal side, why should I trust them with my money as a business side? Or if you're going out and you're getting drunk every night and you're posting images of you just sloppy drunk and yeah, you might be having a good time, but you got to remember that you are, as a business owner, you're the face of your business, your company at all times. If you're getting into posts that are super political or super religious based or anything that is going to cause any sort of controversy, you have to think about what that's doing to your business as well. And I'm not saying if that's who you are and you are that strong about it and that's your conviction, go ahead. But you just remember what you're doing when it comes to a business. We don't want to cause drama based around our personal lives because that'll also could potentially hurt our business. So just think about that. That is like one of the most important parts of this video. So if you take anything from this video, it's remember that even though you think it's your personal life, people are still watching. People are still going to see it. People are going to share it. People are going to screenshot it. People are going to hold on to stuff. And you never know where your business, where your career, where yourself could go. And it might interfere in the future. So keep the controversial stuff to yourself. I know that sucks. And I know you want to be the outspoken person that you are, but just think about it. Just think about what that's doing. So the next one I want to talk about is not investing in your education. We as photographers need to continue growing. We need to continue learning. We need to continue experiencing these moments, networking. And the best way to do that is any sort of education, whether it's an online course, whether it's a workshop, whether it's a conference, whether it's a photo meetup, photo walk, whatever it is, we need to continue education. And I think that this is a very important thing to get across is in 2019, when I went to my first conference as an attendee, I realized that that was the pivotal moment where I changed my career. Not only did I meet other amazing photographers, but I met models who are now some of my best friends. Shout out Banger Squad. But I also met vendors. I met industry professionals. I met other speakers who at that time I wasn't a speaker, but now I'm peers with them. And this was not only good for my business itself as far as getting better as a photographer, but it was good for my business as in making these connections. It was in Chicago. I still talk to a lot of these photographers, these businesses that are based in the Chicagoland area. If I would have never went to this conference, I would not know the people that I know. And I would not be the photographer and the speaker and teacher that I am today. So I highly suggest going to a conference. finding local workshops, taking online courses like the Photog Nation. Shameless plug, you could join my course, the Photog Nation Online Photography Society, private coaching and networking, along with a Discord, courses, videos, and all sorts of fun stuff. Link in the description down below. But that's the only plug that I'm going to say. Focus on your education. Not only will you become a better photographer, but you'll learn so many more skills around the business side of things. The networking, the talking, the figuring out the right way to promote yourself without seeming cocky or seeming needy, things like that. You'll learn all of this stuff just by being around like-minded individuals, whether you're taking classes or not. So the next one I want to talk about is burnout from saying yes to everything. And this happened early in my career. I was taking on family photos. I was taking on newborns. I was taking on music photos. I was taking on weddings and headshots and portraits. And I was saying yes to everything, mainly because I was charging that low amount, so everybody was coming my way. I got so burnt out. Even a couple years ago when I was doing 40 weddings a year, 45 weddings a year, by the end of the year, I was so burnt out from doing weddings. And it was the fact that I had just took every wedding and took every client and did every headshot and did every family photo session. It's just too much. And you burn out and you get to this moment where you're like, do I even want to do this anymore? And the fact that you think about it and you ask yourself that question means that, yes, you do want to do this, but you just have to figure out how to correctly do it where you're not burning yourself out and making yourself just tired all the time. And that leads into my next one, which is not really business oriented or photography oriented, but I think it's very important. And it's something that as I get to become 42 years old, which I just turned, my health, my exercise, my sleep patterns, these are all things that I'm currently working on. If you go back and look at videos from about 6 months ago, I was at 275 pounds. Since then, I have been dieting, working out, exercising, trying to watch my portions. I'm down to 245 now in about 6 months. And I feel so much better. Now, the one thing that I do still lack is sleep. I don't get enough sleep. My sleep patterns are all jacked up. It's something that I'm still trying to work on, but one thing at a time, right? But I feel so much better. I feel so much more positive. The people around me notice it. My wife notices it. My kids notice it. My friends, my family. I'm just a much happier person now that I'm focusing on my health. And I think it's the fact that I myself know that I am becoming more healthy so I can live longer, experience more, do things more, and not look like a fat schlub in my videos, because that's where I was going. I saw a video that I filmed that will never ever see the light of day. And I hate it because it's a super good video and it was a great photo shoot, but I just cannot put it out. Maybe someday, like throwback video or something. But I just can't do it. And that spiral, that connects to my health. And now that I'm eating better and watching my portion size and doing these fasts and drinking way more water and all of that, I just feel like a much better person. Mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. So watch your exercise, watch your health, because it does directly connect to your business and your mentality. And the last one that I wanted to touch on is very important. It's something that I did for a long time, and it made me a very angry person, upset person. I don't really know what to call it, but that's relying on your friends and family to let your business succeed. Now, I know this is contradictory to like every video I've ever put out, every video that anybody has ever put out, that when you're starting as a photographer to rely on your friends and family for your business. But that well will run dry pretty quick. And that's something that you got to remember is, yes, your friends and family are your jump start to your business. It's where you get the initial push, the initial clients. But your friends, your family, they're going to want discounts. They're going to want to shoot for exposure. They're going to want to, kind of get a special treatment. And now I don't mean like client special treatment, but like, like I said, like discounts and stuff like that. And another thing based around that is they're not going to book you every single day to continue shooting. After 2 or 3 photo sessions, they're going to be kind of done. Now, they might come back once a year, every other year, every 3, 4, 5 years. But the thing is they are not going to book you every day, and you can't depend on them. And the hard part about it is you sit here and you think like, man, why are my friends and family not booking me? Why are my family always asking me about photographers, but they never book me? Why are they, booking these other photographers? It's just how it goes. Like, it's not personal. Like, you can't expect somebody to pay you $500 every week for a photo shoot. The same person over and over. It just doesn't happen. So you have to remember that, yes, your friends and family are there to get you started, to promote you, to push you, but it's not a sustainable way to run your business. You have to find other outlets. You need to be marketing. You need to be networking. You need to be making content. Social media content creation is the #1 way right now to grow your business and to become successful. I am living proof of it. I have taken way less photo shoots in the last year, but they have been way more beneficial monetarily. So that is based around content creation. And it comes to a point like where I'm at right now where I don't even care about the photo shoots anymore. I'm making sustainable money just off creating content as a photographer, an educator, and things like that. So there comes a point where you're creating content for your business and your marketing and things like that, and it may turn into your job where you don't even have to do a ton of photo shoots anymore. You could just be creating content around your photo shoots and creating your own themed shoots and curating everything based around them because you're creating content with them. So that's something to think about. Is you can't rely on your friends and family, but you can rely on a camera, a microphone, and yourself to create some content, get it out there. So these are the things that I wanted to touch on. These are the things that I feel helped me, and they help me even more now that I know them. And I hope that hearing my setbacks and downfalls and issues and the way that I am running my business can somewhat help you in your business. Now, I'm not saying I'm the end-all, be-all person, the guru who knows everything about business and running a successful photography business, but I've made those mistakes. I've been that person that has talked drama on Facebook, or that has relied on my friends and family, or that is lowering my prices. I've done these things. I've been where you are. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but at the same time, I hope it helps you. I hope you understand that I'm coming from a place where I want you to succeed more and faster than I did. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I have. So I hope this helps. I'm not here to, prophesize anything or say, like I said, say that I'm the guru. I just want to help you. I genuinely want to help people. It's why I do this. It's why I do what I do. And once again, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button and leave me a comment, let me know the mistakes that you've made in your career, and let me know how you've overcome them. I really am genuinely curious to find out. So thank you. And if you want to continue learning from me, watch this video right here, because this one I think will help you just a little bit more. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Deuces.